You know what? Today, we might just be... Oh yeah, so nice out here. This, you have to figure this out real soon, but it's warm, snow's melting, boys. I'm gonna have to learn how the lighting works good with these doors open, because literally ever since I bought this house, it's been cold outside. So, you would not believe how long it took me to swap this with this over here. You know what, maybe this door opening when we're working over here is the wrong door. Today, we're making more progress on the EK. We are real close to getting this thing going. I'm literally just waiting for my Honda to show up. That mixed with a day of putting work into it, we should be able to get this thing running. Today we're gonna do something that I have been avoiding for the longest time. But putting this car outside and then trying to push it back, just putting it outside in general was just the wrong move. Let me show you guys why. So, you guys have seen this thing hanging down probably in a bunch of videos. This is just like all the fuel lines, brake lines, everything that runs from the rear forwards. This thing was full, and every time we pull the car in and out, we basically drag these, through the mud. After our most recent pushing the car outside, I found a piece of it frozen to the ground. It's melted since then, but like, this was the first sign that we had done a little bit of damage. Nothing we can't recover from. Second sign that we had done some damage. I could see the brake lines at the rear end of the car that are supposed to run to the front. Look at these bad boys. Oh, these got hooped, dude. Absolutely destroyed. Like, look at right there. They did like a hard 90 on both of them. They are super custy lines. I was planning on replacing them. I told you guys like 100 times we're gonna replace these lines. It just really has to happen. I've never worked with this material before. Usually I work with like the copper nickel. Oh, this stuff, I think. Like, this is what I made my brake lines with in my truck. I don't know if it's any better, any worse. I'm not here to have a debate. I'm just using this stuff because this is what I could find. It actually looks like the same stuff. Whatever, this says, oh yeah, it doesn't rust. I don't know, I don't trust it. I live in Ontario, it's probably gonna rust. That's today's job, boys. We're doing a brake line tuck. Thankfully, this thing is super thin, low profile. And I ripped everything off this proportioning valve. Would have sat like this. This one would have gone in here, and then this one would have gone to the one that's blocked off. And then top two are the rears, side angly ones are the front. Normally, on a car, this would sit like right here, right? And then you'd have your brake booster there, and then you'd have like 1 million lines kind of coming over and leaving from it and just doing a bunch of stuff. The hardest part of this entire like brake line tuck, whatever you want to call this, is literally hiding the lines that go to this proportioning valve. A lot of times what you'll see people do when they like do a shave or a tuck or something is they actually put it inside the car, which is okay to do if you already have the dashboard out. If you don't already have the dashboard out, you're making like, it's gonna take me way too long to get this figured out. Now this is one of those things that like for a lot of people it might not work, but in my case, I think it's gonna work out real nice. I'm gonna call it a trans tunnel. I know it's not a trans tunnel, but that's kind of what it looks like, right? Like a transmission tunnel runs right here. You used to have a shifter linkage that would come out of here and it would kind of run across and then it would come down and connect to the shifter. So all this space was taken up with just a big metal linkage, and then somewhere it starts being used for the exhaust. I'm not entirely sure. Now that we've done the K-swap, we basically changed everything over to a cable setup. So these cables here shift the transmission, which leaves this entire front part of this thing wide open. You'd have to blow the entire oil pan off to get to this height, and then this stuff hangs way lower than it. So what I'm thinking is if I can kind of tuck this underneath the car instead of having to go inside and remove the dashboard, it'll save me like so much time and effort. I'm just trying to make this super cool for me to look at and super cool for everybody that checks it out. And that's what we're working with now. Okay, that might have been a little overkill, but we got line. You were right. All of you guys that were in the comments before this point in the video saying, yo, you need 3/16. You were right, all right? Instead of Googling what size this thing took, I went onto like a website where you could buy pre-made lines. The pre-made lines said they were 1/4 inch, so I'm like, okay, it's probably 1/4 inch. I measured it, and 3/16 and 1/4 inch are like real close. When you're measuring it under the car and just trying to like get it done, I was literally going snowboarding, and I took a measurement before I went, stopped on the way to go snowboarding, got the lines, and I got the wrong ones. Thankfully, Courtney was out while I was doing this, so she actually managed to stop at the store and pick up the lines, so we're only down about an hour and a half. When she stopped to pick up these 3/16 lines, they had fittings in stock, which they didn't have in stock the other day when I picked up the other lines. So I was gonna reuse these fittings, which is how I found out that the line's the wrong size, because this does not slide over 1/4 inch lines. At least I already know what I'm doing. I just gotta do it one more time. Actually went super fast and actually really easy. The thinner line's way easier to bend. I'm super stoked about it. And also, I don't know if you guys can see up there, I was going through the wrong, oh, we lost it all. We lost everything. I was going through the wrong hole. The hole for the throttle cable. So when I went inside to like adjust it inside, I realized that it's going right behind the pedal. So I moved it over one hole. So now everything clears. One line done. I just feel behind because of our stupid wrong sized lines. So we just gotta keep pounding these out. So up front we're working with these soft lines. These are just like the little guys that connect to the back of the caliper. This thing just kind of has a little clip that keeps it right here. And then normally it would go up into this big hole, which is right where the clutch line is. And it pretty much is like run across, back, and then over to that thing, and same thing with the other side. And I was thinking of trying to tuck this underneath the car because that would be the best route, but seeing that this thing is front wheel drive for one, so every kind of like burnout, anything like that we do is always gonna be the front wheels, and two, even though I'm not gonna drive this car all the time, it's not gonna be my daily, it's just gonna be for fun. Putting anything kind of in and around, if I were to bring anything kind of down when the wheel turns, it's gonna be facing there, any kind of debris or something, you don't wanna lose brakes while you're doing something. I have a plan to make this look good. You guys just gotta trust me. That's the front done, dude. Well, pretty close. So I got both these tapped into these lines. Dude, this actually came out pretty nice. I mean, it looks a little wonk because normally it goes through here and you don't see it, but they kind of pop out right here and then duck back down under. So I already found a mistake where I drilled the hole the size of the line to get it through, and then I put the fittings on, and then I flared the ends. So I wanted to paint the lines black to hide it, but I'm gonna have to paint it in the car because there's no way I'm getting them back out without cutting them now because I already flared the lines and put the fittings on. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and say that the reason this looks the same, remember when I told you guys like, oh, the line looks like it's the same? They were rotting at one point, and someone probably charged whoever owned this car at the time to like redo the lines, and they only did the parts you could see. Right where it went underneath the black shield, it unioned. And then the part behind the shield is not nice to look at. And the part in front of the shield is like the same looking line as mine. I don't know why people do stuff like that, but we're just doing it all. Alright, so the EK had two of these things. I don't really know why. I'm gonna go ahead and say that whatever's underneath that one is probably something to do with like the fuel level signal or something. I don't know. I'm scared to open it. This one's the pump, so this is the one that we're after. So if you guys remember in the video where we did the fuel rail and all the injectors and got all this stuff hooked up, you guys remember we put in some nice DW 1000cc injectors on this guy. I also showed you guys this pump. If you guys didn't see that video, we got the Deechworks 300. So this is a 340 liter per hour pump. To be honest, I was hoping pulling this thing out would give me a little bit more of a view of like the rest of the lines that go up to the tank, but it didn't help me at all. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging underneath the car. But at least when we set it all back up, it'll be good to go. I'm pretty sure we just gotta pop this pump hose and bag off and put a new pump hose and bag on. we got our pump, we got a little sack on the bottom. This thing ready to give us some extra HPs. Please just go in there, have a great day. I do not want to smell that anymore right now. Well, this is just terrible news. I'm pretty sure we gotta drop the gas tank. There's like a 0% chance that I'm gonna be able to make a line that goes up into there. I've never dropped a gas tank before. I feel like it can't be too hard. I feel like it could also be very hard. So don't have anywhere to drain this full tank of gas into. All I have is like baby jerry can. We're gonna play the safe game. And we bring this thing down. This Eastwood one has this little rubber pad on it, so should be fine to put the weight on this guy. Okay, I think I did it. I don't know for sure. Wish me luck. I honestly think I'm a reunion. They're super clean, really fresh. I don't think anything's ever happened to them. To be honest, I can't do anything this clean. There's no chance I'm gonna get a line that looks like that. What's really nice is that these are 3/16, but these are 1/4 inch. So I get to use my 1/4 inch for the return lines. I think these are return lines. Judge the orange zip ties. Like, I found them in the garage when I bought this house, and they've just been sitting in my toolbox. So I just decided recently I'm gonna just use them everywhere that you don't see until they're all gone, because I just don't like looking at them. So the clips that were in here, these little clamps, they're okay. I think the old lines were like swollen and rusty, and they just like expanded them. So when I put these ones in there, they kept trying to pop back out. So I just zip tied over all the clamp spots just to hold them like in their little clamp. That way they don't pop out. This is really cool. It sits right back in its little shield. Everything is super protected. This guy has all the lines coming in. I put this little kind of holder here so that this stays tucked right up nice to the frame. And then the fuel return and send lines, you can see the tips coming right there, come through here. And this video is just the video of Courtney being out doing random things and me just continuously calling her and being like, yo, I need something. Because I was gonna reuse these unions, I didn't realize they have like a crush washer type deal to make them work, which makes sense, but I didn't really, I never used a brake fitting union before. I didn't know how it worked. Of course, I didn't have any of those at the store. So Courtney picked me up one of these guys, which is literally just brake line fitting that the flared end goes onto. So there's no actual union. You just flare both ends, fitting right on, which is really actually 10 times easier to do. So our OE lines come around here, and then I have the fittings on there already. So this should kind of just like thread nice onto there. But I just gotta cut these two down, put a fitting on each of these like this, and we're basically done the brake lines, dude. You guys, you've seen me do enough of this. That's how this one looks. It looks really good. We got everything resting in this. Once I get these lines kind of attached, it'll pull this up. Right now it's a little saggy, but yeah, so I'm gonna leave the fuel tank off for now. These lines are just gonna run up to it. This one is the return, this one is the send. I probably gotta cut this one a little bit, but I would like to buy those new straps because those straps are disgusting. The only thing we're not gonna bolt up 100% today is this guy, because I need to pick up some of that like rubber grommet tape. I don't know what you would call it. I need like the flexibility here to do that. So that's gonna stay the way it is. Dude, all these lines look so good. But before we go ahead and say anything, oh my God, I forgot that one leaks. Dude, I don't know where this fluid just keeps coming from. It's all empty. It's driving me nuts. We got one more quick thing to do. Dude, this looks so good. So I didn't spend too much time on this brake booster. I just wanted it to blend in with everything else. I painted it the same silver we've been using for like the manifold and all that other stuff. And I didn't show you guys, but I painted those lines black. You literally can't even see them. Like, I have to be like, yo, look, there's a line here for you to notice. So that's what I was saying. Like, it's there, yeah, but you're never gonna see it. And once the paint dries, I'm gonna put a bracket that pulls it right to the frame to make sure that you would never see it at all. And while I was in here, of course, I got these fuel lines going from the fuel pressure regulator down to the fuel lines that I stuck through. So everything is hooked up, dude. Like, we are really good to go. I was debating painting these black. Something about them not being black I kind of like, because I feel like you don't notice the other ones that are black. I feel like if I painted that black, you're sooner to find another black line hidden in here than if those ones are green. You just kind of glance right over the black lines. Even if you notice it, you don't think like, oh, there's a brake line. You just think like nothing. Kind of like tricking everybody that looks in here into whatever they think they're seeing. That was good. That was actually like, that was not like hard. This is very, very time consuming. But I'm stoked. I think everything looks super cool. All the bends came out nice, all the new fittings. This thing cleaned up real well, actually. And that's it, dude. Everything else I left just like I showed you. And now we just gotta have a super intense day of bleeding all these brakes. But I made a way bigger mess than I was expecting to make, so I'm gonna clean this all up. Make sure you guys are following the Committed Crew on Instagram if you're not already, because we have some real fire clothing coming for you guys. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.